Hey everyone, today I'm going to be recreating bento lunchboxes inspired by each of the Norris nuts. And be sure to let me know in the comment section which lunch is your favorite. So the first lunch is meant to be for Saber, and what's really great about this bento lunchbox is that there's a section for hot food, and then the compartments around it are meant to be for snacks and colder food too. The main meal for this lunch will be instant noodles. I've placed it into the bento lunchbox and I'm going to add the lid back on top so the noodles don't get cold. So now it is time to organize the snacks for the bento box. So for this top compartment, I'll be adding in some cucumbers and carrots. So here we have some dip for that, and it is ranch. I'm just closing the lid now and I'm adding it over to the top section. So now it is time to add it to the bento box. So first off we have the carrots, then I'll be adding in the cucumbers later on, but as you can see the pieces are quite small. I did have to cut them like that so they could fit into the compartment. And it seems like there's some extra space for some more carrot pieces, so I'm just going to be adding those just on top of the cucumber. And the next item I'll be adding into the lunchbox is a dessert item, and it is a chocolate brownie. The brownie also has chocolate chip pieces inside of it. It is so delicious, but what's great about this brownie in particular is that it already comes in wrapping so it won't stick to the container. And as for this final section here, I'll be adding in another snack, and we have some baked snow pea chips, and they're original flavored. The lunch is all completed. We have the main meal with a few snacks and a dessert item too. So let's go ahead and move right along to the next lunchbox. And the next lunch we'll be organizing is for Sockie. So the first thing I need to do is remove the lid for the main meal compartment so we can add the food inside. So for the main part of the lunch, it will be pasta, and I've placed it already into the bento box lunch. So now it is time to organize the snacks that will be added into the lunchbox. So for the top compartment, I'll be placing down some fruit, and I have these green grapes here, but they're cotton candy flavored. I think these grapes will be a wonderful addition to the lunchbox, and they'll be a lot sweeter because they're cotton candy flavored. And I just realized the rest of the snacks that I'm going to be adding to the bento box all have a green theme to them. The next item we have here is quite interesting, but I think it will be a good item to add into the lunch, and it is green tea mochi. The mochi is quite small, so we're going to add it to the side of the lunch there, and it comes in wrapping so it won't stick to the bento box. And the next item we have here is dry roasted edamame, and it's a really great snack, but as you can see they're quite small, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a small container so I can fill the container up so they don't spread around throughout the bento box. So the container that I have here is a light purple color to match the bento box, and I'm just going to be adding in a few dry roasted edamame to the container. Then I can add it next to the mochi so we can add another snack to the other side of the bento box. And the final snack we will be adding to the lunch is of course green again, and it is some green capsicum. It's also known as bell peppers, so I sliced them up into some small pieces and I'll just be adding them into the compartment. And there is a small section open just by the grapes, so I'm going to be adding in a dessert item, and it is some fruit jelly. It's the perfect sweet option for the meal, and it's already in a container, and of course it's green too. So for this lunchbox, I'm going to be adding in a few accessories. So I have these little eyes I can attach to the different food items. So I'll be adding one over to the mochi, and you can see there's diamonds in the eyes. And then we also have another pair for the grapes, and these ones are just more classic eyes compared to the other ones. And that lunchbox is now all organized, so let's move right along to the next one. And the next lunch we'll be sorting out is for Biggy. This one is blue rather than purple, and you can see the lunchbox is styled differently because there's no hot compartment. So for his lunch, he'll be having a bagel. And over towards the side of the bagel, I'll be adding in a small container, and the container has cream cheese so it can be added to the bagel later on. There's quite a bit of space towards the other side of the bagel, so I'm going to be adding in a container to add a snack item. This container is a lovely purple color, so we'll add it in like so. And this is definitely the most interesting snack so far. It is jerky, but rather than classic jerky, it is squid jerky. I'm not sure what to think of it, but I'm just going to add a few pieces into the container like so. And the next item I'll be adding in is a dessert option, but it is a lot healthier rather than the brownie that I added in earlier, and they are rice cakes or rice crackers, but there's dark chocolate on one side of them and they taste amazing. And for that final compartment to the lunchbox, I'm going to be adding in some capsicum, but these are also known as bell peppers as well. So we have some yellow capsicum and some red ones as well. There is some room on the top, so I'm going to be adding in some more yellow capsicum, and the lunch is complete. This lunch looks really interesting. I love the bagel idea with the healthy dessert and the capsicum. I'm not sure about the squid jerky, but I think it will be an interesting choice. So let's go ahead and move right along to the next lunchbox option. And as for the last lunchbox, we will be styling it for Naz, and rather than making a classic Vegemite sandwich, I have these sandwich cutters that style different shapes, so I'm going to be cutting out a few different shape options, and then I'll be adding it into the lunchbox. There are quite a few different styles. There's flowers, hearts, and stars too. And once we have a few different shape options for the lunch, I'm going to be taking them out of the main mold, and then we can add them into the container too. The lunchbox itself is so pretty. There's a snowflake design on the front, and when you open it up, there's a large section in the middle for the main meal, and then there's a few compartments at the top as well. So here we have a few of the different sandwich shapes. There's flowers and stars, and I just have them in these small containers so they won't move around in the lunchbox. I think styling them as different shapes is a lot more fun rather than just having a classic sandwich. So now it is time to add in a few snack items for the lunch. So this container has different cucumber pieces and tomatoes, and I've had to cut the cucumber pieces really small so they're able to fit in like so. This item is a healthier dessert option, and it is roasted chickpeas, but they're raspberry flavored and they're covered in chocolate as well. We have another one of these containers. I'm just adding it to the other side of the lunchbox because the items are so small they might fall out. And along with the chickpeas, I managed to add in a few raisins to the container as well. And right next to the container, I have some cotton candy grapes to add to the bento lunchbox. And for the main part of the lunchbox, I'll be adding in a few different items. So we have some cucumbers, carrots, and capsicum. There's some red capsicums and some yellow ones as well. I'll just be filling up the entire space like so. And as for some dipping sauce, I have some ranch here. I've placed it in a small container so it should be able to fit into the lunchbox, and I'll just place it in the corner. And the final step is to add some accessories to the lunchbox. So here we have these little eye accessories. The first one will go on top of the sandwich, and you can see the eye is doing a wink, and that's just sitting towards the side. And the next one can go on the grapes, and that's a classic eye accessory. And then the third one can go over by the cucumbers and tomatoes. And Naz's lunchbox is now complete. Be sure to let me know in the comment section which lunchbox is your favorite. So thanks for watching.